Hierarchical thinking is about seeing the world in terms of domination, or status, or social position. Hierarchies are everywhere in human society. You have people at the top of organizations who see themselves as superior to the rest for one reason or another. You have perhaps a group of people in any given organization or system who sit just below the top dogs and take orders from the top but give orders to the rest. Then you have the people at the bottom, those who simply take orders and tip their caps to their masters. And they are thankful for the scraps from the master's table, so to speak. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of business hierarchy here, but it could apply elsewhere, and of course it does. Isn't this country a hierarchy of sorts? People are categorized according to status, right? Economic and social status. We've got the upper classes, the middle class, the great mass of the working classes, and do we not have an underclass of people too? People even the working classes can look down on. How grand. You want a good example, or perhaps a bad example, of a hierarchical system which goes back thousands of years? Take a look at the Indian caste system. Try to imagine what it must be like for the people who find themselves at the bottom of that system. Hierarchies feed the base instincts, I think. Yeah. It can't be denied that we have these social systems which encourage people to tread on their fellows while climbing the social ladder. We have systems which condition us to see each other as superior or inferior. Now, of course, there are plenty of well-rounded people out there, well-educated people who don't think in hierarchical terms, people who have liberated their minds, but many people would rather live in a system where others, superior others, do their thinking for them. Maybe for the sake of personal convenience, and for some it's a good way of avoiding accountability too. Indeed. Could human beings function as best they could in the absence of hierarchies? How would we distribute resources in society if hierarchical systems were to disappear tomorrow? You know, surely human beings need strong leadership. Surely we need someone to dominate us. It's just the species we are, right? Some people are just more important than others. Some people are just better than others, and our group structures need to reflect this. Maybe that sounds a little harsh and elitist, but that's just the way the world works, right? Even a democracy has to be hierarchical to some extent, yeah? I'm trying to provoke a response in the comments section here. Feel free to contradict me. some hierarchical organisations are visibly more rigid than others, the military being the best example of a rigid hierarchy, of course. But even the place I work, a kitchen in a pub, is a hierarchy. Everyone in the kitchen is subordinate to one single individual whose word is final. As if things wouldn't work if we all weren't being told what to do by one dickhead. As if people have got no initiative or drive or individual intelligence. It's insulting. Yeah. The Catholic Church, of course, there's a good example of a hierarchical organisation. An organisation made up of over 1 billion members. An organisation presided over by a silly little man in a silly little hat. And what about capitalism? Is it not hierarchical? Workers exchange labour for money. We sell ourselves for a given period of time. We promise obedience to our paymasters in return for wages. Owners or managers give the orders, employees obey. And some employees are given authority over their fellow wage slaves. And yeah, that's how it works. Hierarchies and the thinking behind them are standing in the way of progress in many ways, I think. Hierarchies are keeping good people down, keeping minds locked up in ignorance also, blocking human potential. Hierarchies divide us and help to keep cycles of inequality going. Are dominance, subordination relationships going to be a permanent part of human societies? That's my question to finish here. Feel free to answer that one in the comments section. Yeah. Anyway, until next time, folks, take care of yourselves.